I think the biggest issue is just this sort of systemic racism, structural racism, right, or systemic bias. And, you don't have to look beyond the numbers to know that that's true. I mean, it's just, you got to start there, right? The numbers tell you that there is a difference between the representation of, for example, African Americans in the country, or even, for example, in computer science programs. So African Americans over-index in computer science and under-index in Silicon Valley. So you go like, I don't know where these people are going, but they're not ending up here. So, I don't think it's as easy as saying, hey, we've got a funnel problem. I think you got to make your own funnel.
Right.
So I think for companies that have prioritized these things, they're seeing different results than companies that don't.
Slack would be the notable one.
I mean, Slack is obviously the poster
they're off
child
the charts.
for this.
They sort of started with that as a core tenet, it feels like.
Yeah, and it's hard for the rest of us now because we're like,
how did you do that?
Yeah, well, and you want to go recruit folks, and they're like, well, why would I go be the first African American person with you or the first woman in your startup when I can go over to this company that's dedicated?
Yeah.
They've demonstrated that they are really prioritizing this issue. I think there are other folks who get less press around that are doing a great job, and some folks that are.
So what about the overrepresentation of, this is the counter, and I'm not saying this is my counter, but this is the counter, is, hey, we have an overrepresentation of, let's say, Indian or Asians in the field.
I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with hiring Indian and Asian people. I think no one is telling you, hey, hire fewer of those people. No one is telling you, hire fewer white guys.
Right.
I think,
But those groups are so they're wildly over-indexed.
That's great. I mean, look, like you can say, that, there's the cliche of the tiger mom, right?
Right.
There's some truth to that. I know some of those folks that I've gone to school with. That's okay, right? Great.
My wife's a Korean, I can attest.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a certain intensity that her parents had.
Yeah, so I think it's just more about it's not, I don't, personally, and you should ask people who are smarter about this than me, right? I'm not an expert. This is something I care about, but I'm not an expert. I think you got to just go make your own pipeline. I think you got to go out there and say, we're going to prioritize this. We're going to prioritize it early.
So that speaks to solving the problem.
Yeah, and do it early, because I think when you're 20 white and maybe Asian dudes in a company, hiring that first woman is hard. You're just never going to recover from that.
Just think about all the time and effort and money you spend going to meetings, going across town, getting stuck in traffic from Palo Alto all the way up to San Francisco, out to Oakland, traveling across the country, going to Seattle, going down to LA, back to New York. It is exhausting, and it is a waste of time and money. Most meetings could occur with the help of GoToMeeting, and they would occur flawlessly. I know because I do these meetings all the time. In fact, I've been meeting with a dozen entrepreneurs every week over GoToMeeting, back to back to back, recording these meetings and sharing them back with the entrepreneurs as I give them feedback for when they come to the Launch Festival in March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, in fact. And I can only do it with GoToMeeting because everybody can use any product they have, computer, tablet, smartphone, doesn't matter what operating system, it just works everywhere. And it is HD quality with perfect HD sound and the ability to share screens. And it never hiccups, it never has bandwidth problems, it just always works. And that to me is the key. If you're gonna do these kind of virtualized meetings, they can't be breaking up and they can't have poor fidelity. They have to be perfect. So here is your call to action. This is what I want you to do right now. I want you to go to GoToMeeting.com and try it free for 30 days. There is nothing to lose. Visit GoToMeeting.com and click the Try It Free button. Do it now and have your first meeting up and running in minutes. It literally works so simple that I have like a little Google Calendar Chrome extension where it puts a GoToMeeting button every time I create a meeting, and I just press boop, GoToMeeting, and it generates a code, gives everybody the code, everybody knows the link, boom, and it just works. So go ahead and go to GoToMeeting.com and get your free 30-day trial. It's a great product. I've been using it for years. I love it. It's a pleasure for me to read, an ad about GoToMeeting because I don't have to read it because I use it. It's literally on the list of my top 10, 20 products that I use every week. It just makes me super efficient in meeting with entrepreneurs. So thanks to our friends at GoToMeeting. And if you're a super fan of the show, go ahead and thank at GoToMeeting on Twitter. They love to see your support of the program. Okay, let's get back to this episode.